Well, the second to last code has been out for quite some time. If you are a supporter of mine, please check your inbox, as you should have gotten the code for the 300k goal. So yeah, the fourth code has been given out, so that's beautiful. So if you guys are in need of a goal, just let your boys know. What I will also do, because as you guys can see, they gave me way too much codes for 1,000 essence. Down in the description down below, I am going to put 1,000 essence codes. So again, this is more for those that don't have a Netmarble ID or can't support content creators for whatever means. Of course, I know some people do have issues on that end. So down below will be the codes. So just want to put that out there. But yeah, so so the only code that is left right now is the fifth code, which we don't know what it is just yet. Hoping it's more essence, hoping it's more tickets, who knows. But again, I appreciate you guys. We're just over 500 supporters. We're absolutely killing it. Amazing. The giveaways are still all going. Fantastic. So happy days. I will say the Thomas giveaway, I am going to be closing that video in around about 5-6 days time. So if you are a supporter of mine and you want a chance to get yourself a free Thomas on my behalf, just watch the video. I explain everything. Try your best to give me your best detailed build of Thomas. You never know, you could win depending on if you get it close enough. But it's a free Thomas for your account from me. So there you go. Now with the check-in, we managed to get 2 of these SR Hunter exclusive weapons. Now when I did the Gina tier list, I did talk about how obviously Guild Boss, how she's going to be relatively quite nice to have, but with the release of Anna's weapon, it does kind of make her more of a unit to kind of cater to over Gina in that perspective. So that kind of also helped me out to get another SR weapon complete, because there is a whole list of them, and honestly I'm hoping people are utilizing this time to actually get some SR weapons going, because some of these weapons are actually really solid to make. Now with the game mode and with how things are, my priority list has somewhat changed up, especially now that we got this Lonely Wanderer weapon. Of course, you know, in terms of what weapon we can build, on how it can prioritize certain SR characters, or maybe in an overall manner for all characters, right? It has kind of switched up on you know, what I'm trying to create now, what I would recommend you prioritize, and what to kind of invest in. So I was looking at the list, and obviously some of these, I mean, well, first things first, this was one of the first ones that I prioritized. This is one of the ones which I would really consider suggesting to build, because of course it does buff up the ultimate of the user, as well as it then buffs up the ultimate increased damage of your team member with the highest total power. So with this badass weapon, it really does help out in scenarios on when you're trying to ult nuke, basically. So if I go over to what is it, Hunters, so like Battlefield of Trials, anything like that, of course, especially when you're using Cheyenne, it sets it up quite nicely, especially if you're using Min, right? I mean, then again, it's Min's ultimate that's going up, but it's a bit of a chip damage, of course, and by having that onto Min, especially with him in at A5, he can really buff up to Cheyenne, doing 15 to 20 mil on the ult, from what I've experienced, right? In between those numbers. So in scenarios like that, yeah, that weapon is really effective. That's why I do, I mean, you guys have probably seen it in some of my videos, I do run it on Min from time to time. Same thing could be said for Charlotte, depending on how the teacher will come in. Obviously Charlotte, she has the rotation of ultimates being played. Every rotation she has an ultimate, so to have that weapon involved, yeah, you are really heavily piling on the ultimate increase play, so that's fantastic. Obviously Gina just released, and she is a bit of a power gauge generator, and so from that, ultimates once again are being played at a more consistent rate. So if you choose to, you can consider again running that weapon to help soon, of course. Yeah, there is ultimate plays happening right now, and that weapon really is giving you a nice little boost. So definitely something that you might want to, well, definitely should be on people's priority list on kind of getting done, especially with, I guess, 3 elements right now that can really effectively go off from ult nuking, of course. Now I did speak about to say that how Sweet Life was on my radar, and FYI, I do have it. I did dupe it out. Oh, I should say this one. Wait, what's this one do? Increase the user's HP by 2%. When the user enters this stage, their power gauge charges by 25%. When the mighty attack hits, I mean, well, okay, mighty attack is only for him, so you only get a power gauge. I mean, yeah, to be fair, with the amount of power gauge support we have right now, I really wouldn't be keen on that one. Anyway, so this was one of the ones which I was catering to, which, again, like I said, I do already have maxed out. So increase the user's attack by 2% if the user's MP is 50% or above, increases core attack, basic skill, and QCE. Obviously, if you max it out completely, it's a 40% increase. But the MP requirement has to be above 50%. That still sticks. Now, I'm gonna be honest, this is kind of like 4th on my list, where it was like 2nd. This one isn't too bad. I mean, there's no requirements in the MP department. It's just a straight core attack and basic skill, 24-24. So when the user uses the core attack, the next basic skill gets a 24% increase. This is, I feel like it is a much safer play. There's more consistency with this, so that this is kind of like, again, one of the ones that you really want to push for and cater to, just because of how the core meta is, especially with certain characters, to then lead that off with base. To be fair, for characters like Soyun, of course, I mean, again, this is more for in an overall manner. I mean, this technically affects every other hunter. I understand that with SSR weapons, of course, some people might struggle by maximizing their potential, and so we've got a nice, easier way to go about getting some good-ass weapons in an SR form, and this is one of the universally loved ones, I will say. Moreover, this, just because there's no requirement for the MP. Not to say that this isn't bad, it's just that MP play right now, from what I've experienced, it's more of a shortcoming to where I'm doing that great amount of damage, and then obviously once I'm below 50%, I just kind of... okay, I will say this, if you are on a rotation play with your team, then this is a decent weapon to have for that specific character, but you got to keep on that rotation. You got to keep on having that MP being generated. If it is a character that is out on the field for a long period of time, then this isn't the play. So that's how things have switched up between these two. I mean, still good, but I think this is the much safer play. You don't need to worry about this at all. This is probably one of the worst ones, just saying. Now, this is where things... okay, also, I think this one's another... yeah, this one's another horrible one. You do not need to worry about first limb or decisions. Horrible. Now, Lonely Wanderer is... I've crafted this, maxed it out. Highly recommend you guys go about building this. Nam's one... yeah, Nam... I would personally put Lonely Wanderer over Slayer's Mercy, but Slayer's Mercy is also another one that not to be slept on. It gives you an extra 10%, but I guess the stipulation is that the enemy needs to be frozen. So I would say personally, Ana right now is kind of like the better option, especially with the poison shower. As long as that hits, you're getting that 10%. Obviously with frozen, there's always that 30-second cooldown, of course. So depending on how your timing is through the rotation, you could potentially get that off again next rotation, but obviously there's going to be a bit of a wait. Whereas Ana's, it's more consistent from what I've experienced, of course. Just to let you guys know, I've maxed out the Lonely Wanderer over Slayer's Mercy, but still one that is not to be slept on and to prioritize, of course. So in terms of what we've got right now, slightly also Institution, definitely something to look into since we've got ultimate strats popping off. Out of the two, Someone's Downfall will be a much safer bet, and then out of the two, Lonely Wanderer will be a much safer bet, just because Ana is really effective right now for like guild boss, and this weapon will help you out tremendously. Also with Power of Destruction, if I haven't mentioned that, of course, Power of Destruction, having Ana with like the blue, the water typings overall, is actually quite nice to have, and this weapon really does help out Alicia to do a hell of a lot more damage just by having that consistency of the power of the poison shower here to then drop that additional 10% on top of with what you're dropping too, right, with the defense drop. So it just kind of piles on quite nicely compared to if it was Numb, because of course it's only through the frozen where you can get that drop. So there won't be that, yeah, the consistency won't be there compared to the Lonely Wanderer. So yeah, that one you want to cater to, and then of course you can then focus on Sweet Life, and then you can leave None till last, and that's kind of like what I would suggest top 5 wise on what to build compared to the SR weapons that we're getting. Again, the only reason why I mention all of this is because there is a nice consistency of tickets being given out through the Hunter Archive, right? I think the Hunter Archive gives you 4 or 2. Let me just double check. Because we just had 2 gifted. Yeah, you can get 4 from the Hunter's Archive, of course, so there's a lot of there. I know through the shop right now you can gain 3 from here. Let me just quadruple double check. Because I know, well, the reset did happen. I mean, if you are selling some SR weapons, then again, you can pick up 3 from here. I believe it is it Proof of Strong? Did it? It should have reset. I did. Yeah. So I mean, you can pick 3 from here. There's another 3 from here, which I haven't picked out, but yeah, there's a lot of ways to kind of go about getting these SR tickets. So I think it's best if people are making good use of these. So again, as for me right now, just to kind of give you guys an idea on what I'm working with, I just got Anna's one done. Obviously the institution, which is the ultimate buffer, loving that. Went ahead with the Sweet Life. It's good, but I should have played it safe by getting the sword, by getting that 24% for the core attack leads into the basic skill doing 24. But as I've said, if you are a rotational playstyle, if you have a rotational playstyle team, then you can consider running the Sweet Life. You just have to make sure you're above the 50% mark of the MP. That's it. That's why I say with the rotational play, you'll keep it up above 50%. So that's good. But yeah, like I said, Anna's the one I just recently got done up. Highly would recommend it. So happy days on that one. So the next weapon I'm going to be working on now is the weapon. So that way, because there are some characters I don't have weapon for. So obviously I want to make sure that I've got a weapon that can universally be switched around for characters that I haven't got their weapons for right now. Predominantly being SSRs, of course. So, and that would probably lean towards me using the Sweet Life or the Someone's Downfall. So these two, right? But yeah, Someone's Downfall will probably next on my list. And then I'll get Nam out of the way. And then after that, once I've got the better ones out of the way, I can then kind of switch up. I'll probably after Nam... Actually, well, yeah, no, I'll probably go grab this, or maybe this actually, because I do like using the DPS power of Kang. But it's all optional. But I've just gone through the 5 that I would suggest that you not to kind of sleep on and consider getting out of the way, since they're the better ones for your account. But yeah, just kind of wanted to go over some of these SR weapons now that we got a whole list of them, and more importantly, SR tickets are being handed out a lot. Left, right, and center. So I want to make sure that you guys are utilizing them and actually going about crafting the weapons and getting them to A5.